Kamusta na kayo mga kababayan natin watching from all over the world? So let's journey together in connecting with Filipinos here in Canada, whether they're visiting, working, or living here. And this man has been living here for quite a while, and he's also been helping the Filipino community here in his own way. We have with us today Michael Corrales. Hi.
Hello po, hello.
So you're known as Kuya MicMic.
Yes, also on social media they know me as Kuya MicMic, but my legal name is Michael Corrales. Yes.
Michael Corrales. Kaano-ano mo si Pilita?
Napakamalayo daw na kamag-anak.
Sorry to have to start with that. Ano ba naman yung simula ko? But I bet you get asked
I
that
always
a lot,
get that
right?
all the time since I was small. My dad, he's a great singer, but he turned down many record deals before.
Your dad?
Yes, my
so
father.
sigurado yung hindi sila mag-anak.
But we're definite that we're not related, yes. But the singing part might be because my dad turned down many record deals when
Why
he was
did he
younger.
turn it down?
He wanted to focus on family. And I guess I carried over that ideal now. When I realized na ang laki pala nung pinakawalan yung opportunity just to be with us as a family. Sabi ko, when I grow up, I also wanna focus on that. And he was also very active in his community during his time.
Ang sakripisyo ng mga magulang.
Yes.
Diba? And you
Opo.
only realize that when you become a parent yourself.
Yes. So I became thankful when I became a father myself na the things you give up to make sure that your family is well taken care of, the sacrifices, doon ko lang na-realize na what he did was actually something really big. And it made a huge impact to my decisions in my own life as well.
We're gonna get more on that. Dun muna tayo sa basic information about Kuya MicMic or about Can I call you Michael?
Michael MicMic is fine po.
Okay. So, Michael, the name of my husband is Michael also.
Okay.
Well, so is millions of other men
along with
all
other
over the
people
world.
named Michael. Yeah. I first visited Canada in 2014. I fell in love with it. I was looking at other countries for opportunities before. Pero nung nakita ko po si Canada and the way it presented itself as I was a new dad during that time. And then when I saw it, sabi ko sa wife ko, dito tayo.
Nagbisita lang kayo ng Canada?
Yes, tourist by accident kasi we were in the US, we're traveling New York. It's one of those family activities that me and my wife enjoy doing, traveling. And then may Facebook na noon, so syempre post ka ng selfie kung saan-saan. And then some of our families reached out, sabi sa akin, hey Michael, you know what, if we cross the bridge, we're already there. Medyo hindi kasi po ako magaling sa geography noon. Sabi ko, magkadikit pala sila si Canada and the US. So I didn't know. Because when I was younger, US was like the dream destination of all Filipinos. America tayo, America. And then, sabi namin, sige, tawid tayo. It wasn't a big deal.
So you have your relatives nyo yan na nasa Canada?
Yes. So I was the first from the Philippines who actually visited them. All my life, I knew that they were here. Pero from the Philippine side of the family, konti yung wala pang nakapunta to see them. And so we cannot relate pag sinasabi nilang doon, ikaw maghuhugas ng sariling pinggan, magkukumit ka, ikaw maglilinis, ikaw lahat. So to me, that concept was foreign kasi syempre,
very far-fetched. It's just,
you have may yaya, may tagalaba, mga ganun. So nung nakita ko siya, I got curious, pumunta kami, and then perfect timing. That was also the time we were looking into a new country to call home.
Kasi you already had one kid.
Yes.
That happens to parents for some reason. Pag nagkaanak na, then you think bigger than yourself, diba?
Yes. We were
para sa kanya na eh.
Oo, kasi parang it's beyond me already. I was very happy in the Philippines. The life we built for ourselves was okay. Pero nung lumabas po yung bata, sabi ko, parang kulang pa. Parang it pushed me more na I could do something better. And that's one of the reasons na we were traveling sa US. Dapat pa New Zealand pa po kami noon. Pero nung
check nyo rin
dapat
tapos New Zealand.
Nahaya kaming tumawid na yun nga, di ko naman alam, dikit pala sila. Tumawid kami, sabi ko, wow.
Anong nagustuhan mo? Parang pagtawid
siguro,
mo.
Syempre, I was a new father. I was observing children. I hate to say it, but there's a big disparity when it comes to the upbringing of kids from different countries. What I liked most was very family-oriented si Canada. And it's very diverse that there's no pressure for children to move out when they're 18. Of course, there might be some social pressure with their friends, but as a family, it's still okay if you live with your parents, even if you're above 18. And that's one thing I really appreciate kasi ako, kahit matanda na, nandun pa rin ako sa parents ko. You keep the family together.
So, ganun iba sila sa US in that sense, no? Kasi
I felt it was very different. And sa US po kasi parang lahat medyo mainit yung ulo lagi. They're very rushed.
Totoo yan. Now that I've been living in Canada for 2 years, I've been visiting here also.
Yeah.
Because my family have been living here. Hindi ko rin nakikita yon when I was visiting, but now that I've been living here for just 2 years nakikita ko na yung malaking difference sa Amerika at Canada.
Malaki talaga.
Oo, malaki pala siya. No? And it will slowly reveal itself to you.
Yes.
How Canada is better than the US. I mean,
no offense to the US viewers, but well, it's just my preference, I guess, that when I saw it, sabi ko, this is the one that fits my needs, my criteria. Even before na most Filipinos, the aspiration was to go to America.
The US.
Even my dad, 7 kapatid, 11 sila, yung 7 kapatid na sa America.
They were 11?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So we're a big family, and yun, 7 is in the US. They're a lot. And I'm expected na if I were to move, I'd move there. But then when I saw Canada, I totally changed my plans. And of course, the expectations sa mga parents na, bakit sa Canada? Bakit hindi dun sa kung nasan yung mga tito-tita mo, mga pinsan mo? Sabi ko, as a parent, I have to look after my child. I feel that this might be the best environment for...
Kayong magkakapatid, ilan kayo?
We're just 2. I'm the
from 7 kids. From 11 kids,
yes.
Your dad only had 2.
Yes. Yun po kasing, I'm the eldest, tapos yung sumunod sa akin po kasi naging special siya. So he's under the autism spectrum. So it's growing up with a sibling na special, you become very mature very fast because you're not only are you the big brother, but there's also different responsibilities when you're looking after somebody with a disability.
The whole family adjusts.
Yes.
And when you're a child, syempre you were also a child then. Ilan ba ang years ang gap nyo?
2 years lang po eh.
2 years lang. So you were also a child, but you had to mature nga.
It was hard to become...
I can imagine.
It's hard to be a child and at the same time protecting your little brother. Kasi syempre po, nung panahon kasi noon, if you have special children, families tend to hide them. Kasi
hanggang ngayon may ganun pa ring stigma. Pero less na nga.
What's good now is the Philippines is becoming more progressive. Mas marami na pong awareness. There's acts supporting people with disability now. People are more upfront about it to seek help. Nung maliit ako, naalala ko parang sinasabi ng mga tao na duwende, nanuno, yung bata kaya daw naging ganun. So parang ako, syempre maliit lang ako, I don't know anything else. But I mean, just to accept reality na he's different. So I have to, I guess that's also part of the motivation na I'm just not doing things for myself, for my family, but I also have parang may instant dependent po ako kahit bata pa lang ako. I already know at the back of my head growing up.
How were you protecting him?
People kasi if they see special children, at first parang sasabihin nila, bakit siya ganun? Bakit siya
buti nga ako nagtatanong minsan ano lang
or they ignore or they bully or they
bully. They brand them
they
right
brand
away
them.
na
There's stereotypes na delikado yan, ano yan, yung mga ganun. And my brother is a big person pa, matangkad siya sa akin, so almost 6 feet yata brother ko. So
wow, he's tall.
So he is tall. And so growing up, it was challenging din kasi I wanted to play outside. I want to play in the streets kasi mga batang 90s, 80s, makalsada po tayo nun eh. And I can't do that. I did not have the luxury to do it because I have to look after him because he cannot just play on the streets because it's not safe for him.
So ikaw nag-aalala
kasi wala siyang
sa kanya.
concept ng yung pagtawid, looking at the sides. Yung environmental awareness is different when you are in that kind of situation. So medyo parang na-house siya, sa backyard lang kami naglalaro. Sa probinsya, walang problema. Pero
Saan ba kayo lumaki?
sa
Saan ka
Batangas,
lumaki?
sa Batangas and Las Piñas po. So
Batangas and
it's
Las
a
Piñas.
mix of every weekend nasa Batangas and then school days on Manila and Metro Manila. So it's a good mix. I was very close with my cousins also. Yun,
So,
palipat-lipat.
Batangas kayo nag-aaral pero umuwi kayo ng Manila.
Baliktad po. I
Baliktad,
studied
oo.
in Manila. When I turned 5, we moved to Metro Manila na po and sa Las Piñas. And then every weekends, like Friday afternoon, nasa Batangas na kami. Balik kami ulit ng Monday morning or Sunday night.
Nabanggit mo kanina, you didn't have an easy childhood, you were saying. I
I
didn't
yeah.
ask for the details. Ngayon pa lang ako magpapakwento.
So with social media, sometimes people would always think na, anak mayaman yan. He had that opportunity kasi mayaman siya. And I always tell people, when I do consultations for my work, they always say, buti ka pa, Kuya MicMic. Okay ka na dyan. Buti ka pa, ganyan. Kami magsisimula pa lang. And I always tell them na, the person you know now, it's very different from the roots to where we started. My father did not finish college. Medyo free spirit yung father ko. He's an artist. And with artists, the way the brain works, it's very different. He's very talented with music, with arts. He was a good father. My mom was the youngest of 10. So malaki po yung
11 from daddy and 10
from the mom.
mommy.
Yes. And she was the youngest. She had me early. And when growing up, I saw the struggle sa kanila. And I always tell people, and they don't believe me when I tell them, lumaki ako naalala ko minsan, toyo asin, yung kakainin, tapos siguro 2 okra lang natanim nila sa backyard. Tapos kaming magkapatid, siguro
Toyo asin kanin.
Toyo asin kanin. And tas kami magkapatid, minsan slice of pork or chicken. Pero sila...
Sa inyo binibigay.
Sa amin binibigay,
slice
yes.
of meat.
So parang medyo pag tinatanungan ng mga tao, what drives you, Kuya MicMic? Like ko sinasabi, ang hirap kasi nung na-witness ko noon growing up. Tapos may kapatid pa akong alam kong responsibility ko at the same time. Ang aga ko namulat dun sa mahirap siya. So I have to do something real quick about it. So syempre, magagawa mo lang kasi at that small age and frame. Alam mo lang na lagi sasabihin sa'yo ng magulang mo, do good in school. Do good in school.
Ganyan ang Filipino parents
parang,
talaga. Yun ang...
Laging sasabihin ng lola ko, lolo ko, ang hindi mananakaw sa'yo is yung education mo. So do that good. Kasi wala naman ako magagawa. I mean, I was just a child. May hika pa ako. So, mahina pa ako nung bata ako.
Okay.
So thank God I outgrew that. But when I was growing up, I already know I have to do something because it's a struggle already that my family is in that situation. They had me early, tas lumabas pa yung kapatid ko special. Tas 2-year gap lang po kami. So parang sunod-sunod yung nangyayari sa parents ko. Sabi ko, it's hard and I have to fix this someday. So I want to parang prepare myself. I mean, it sounds weird na ganun kakabata, naisip mo na yun. Pero kasi, pag nandun ka sa ganung situation, hindi siya madali. And, naiyak tuloy ako. Sorry.
Hindi, okay lang. You know, there's no apologies to crying.
Ayan, sorry.
Ako ang pinakaiyakin na tao, MicMic. So, okay lang yan. And this is a stigma on a lot of men that men shouldn't cry, dapat hindi kayo iyak. Pero
ako, iyakin pa naman ako.
talaga, ganun yata talaga ang malambot ang puso, iyakin talaga.
True. So yun,
okay lang sa lalaki ang umiyak. It's a sign of strength.
Yeah. It's ayan, so it makes it more interesting now. Pero for me, yeah, well, my mom studied psychology. She also said it's okay to cry. Oh, so contrary to other traditional Filipinos na, ba't kaya lalaki ka?
So
my mom was very
ng ganon. That's cool.
My mom was very nurturing in that sense. Kasi nga medyo mababaluha ko noon bata ako. Pero siguro it's because yung
there were a lot to cry about. Yeah, it seems like it.
Too many at that young age. Pero siguro ngayon din kasi lang napag-usapan kaya ako naiyak kasi parang looking back, looking now, imposible siyang ma-achieve. Sorry. It's hard to achieve, but I did it. And yung yung grandparents ko kasi naniwala sila sa akin. They
So
weren't
may
able.
malaki rin ang influence
Oh,
ng
yeah.
lolo at lola.
Yung lola ko nagsabi sa akin, yung tumatak siya sa akin, sabi niya, balang araw, ikaw mag-aangat sa buong family mo. And I was able to do it. So I was very, oh my God, I wasn't expecting to cry. Pero
you'll never know when it's
I
gonna
know.
come. But
and
that's
yeah,
beautiful. I mean,
it's,
the words that your grandma said, no? Ang sabi sa'yo ng lola mo.
Sabi niya, in a Batangas accent, of course, I can't copy it. Pero sabi niya, balang araw ikaw
Alay, balang araw. Marami rin akong mga kamag-anak sa Batangas malapit sa Quezon.
Sabi sa akin, it's a very same yung punto po. Sabi niya, balang araw, ikaw magdadala sa family mo. And true enough, it slowly happened. I was one of the very first in my side of the family to actually attend an exclusive school ng elementary and college. So one of the greatest gifts that my parents did was give me proper education. So yung struggle nila na it was hard raising up somebody special and then you also have another child attending school soon. So they did many sacrifices. Yung father ko po, more than twice na siyang nagbenta balik ng kotse or sangla or whatever just to finance my school. So on top of that, I know na I was telling myself, my dad was able to raise us despite yung, if I had it bad, my dad had it worse when imagine they were 11 and they were living in a very small space. One bathroom, everybody lives on the floor. It was difficult. So I was telling myself, what's my excuse? Kung na-prove na niya sa akin to, I should be able to take it to the next level. And on top of my responsibility with my brother and everything. So I was first to graduate in a nice school. I was top of my class. And then
Top of your class?
Yeah. And then
motivation, what school is this?
I studied in LaSalle. And then
which LaSalle?
Sa Taft. LSU Taft. And then I guess the thirst for knowledge was there. I also studied in China for Mandarin, and then I studied in Ateneo for business Mandarin. And then kasi si wife ko po Chinese so syempre you also want to impress your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. So apart from me liking to learn new things, that's also parang side motivation on doing
Did
that.
life get easier as you were growing older? When in high school, college, was it not as difficult anymore?
High school, it was slowly getting better. We were still financially challenged kasi minsan, kunyari po yung CAT, di ba po yung parang military training. Hindi ako nakasali nung high school kasi
may bayad yung mga uniform.
Wala akong pambili ng maong. Kasi pag trainee ka, maong. And then naka-maong ka, white t-shirt. Wala akong pambili ng maong. So I
remember kasi the uniform is pretty expensive.
And the uniform's expensive too.
May
and
mga belt pa yan na napakakintab.
The garrison belt, the shoes, magastos siya. I wanted to do it because my grandfather was a soldier for the Philippines. He fought during the war. Bataan Death March survivor siya or something. Hindi ko na siya, he passed away when I was 2. Tapos panganay na apo ako. So parang, I just hear stories about his greatness and the things he did.
Buti rin kunikwento sa inyo.
Yeah.
Pero, kasi imagine pag ganun ka, kasama ka sa Bataan Death March, dapat yung pamilya mo, suportado na yan
Yeah.
Ng gobyerno.
But I think for him, it was he also had difficulties. Well, 11 kids is 11 kids. It's a lot. But he also had a law degree, so he was able to become a lawyer too after his military service. So parang yun, lagi ko sinasabi, what's his excuse? Na nagawa niya yun. So yun, what pushed me to study really hard was what's my excuse. And then nung okay na, I got married, I had kid.
Hindi ka nag-rebelde nung high school, nung college?
Wala kasing pera pang rebelde.
Nung budget pang rebelde.
Walang budget Tsaka siguro nga po, we were starting our family business also in high school. So I was very
okay.
involved. We had my dad being
So
an
talaga
artist.
kung busy yung utak mo, no? At
Oh
saka,
yeah,
I'm getting the sense na yung mga magulang mo really instilled in you,
hard work talaga.
the hard work and
Oh, the love
the
is there too.
love,
The
the
love, the
nurturing of your
discipline.
mom, you said.
My mom is very well. Being a child psychologist, she was good. She I guess she applied the theories very well sa akin. And then
Oo,
my
oo.
dad grew up in a very rough environment naman. So I had a mix of both.
Oo, oo.
Mababa nga yung luha ko, pero kaya din kitang bugbugin kung kung kailangan ko.
I
So
love it.
it's
That's the best
it's
combination.
a good
You know what I
combination.
realized in life? It's really opposing forces. It's yin and yang.
Yes.
You know, you can
yes.
only really appreciate so much joy if you've gone through so much pain. You know,
Yes.
those
Actually,
two
that's a
forces
perfect way
that
to
are
put it. Yeah.
pulling together,
Yeah.
pulling each other. Na,
It's that balance that you achieve in the end of all that turbulence na
oo.
parang right now at this age, I turned 40 recently. So parang sabi ko, eto na siguro yung sinasabing peace. Peace na parang you made your parents proud, you're impacting their life now, they feel secure na hindi na nila kailangan problema sa pera. And then my brother, makukuha ko na kasi sila as permanent resident soon, God willing. So, parang na-achieve ko na yung gusto ko sa kanila.
That is amazing.
Yes. So, yun yung,
Okay.
I was very thankful na nagawa ko na siya because sabi ko, madala ko kayo dito. Well, with Canada, free healthcare is something very big. And there's more support for my brother na with autism. So,
Right.
talagang I'll be able to lift them from the Philippines and bring them here where there's more opportunities for my brother, more care for the parents. I'm not saying Philippines is bad, but then there's certain things
we
that
know.
could be better. And my brother and my family will have access to it here. So yun yung parang crowning achievement ko with my life na madadala ko sila. And of course, may opportunity to bring my in-laws after. So parang yun yung pinaka-lasting, ano ba tawag doon? Lasting memory or something. If somebody asks me about something, ito yung crowning achievement ko na I was able to replant my parents in a better place. Tsaka my brother. So parang ganun po siya.
Yung trophy mo.
Yeah, that's my trophy. Yes, trophy.
So you're already on the part where you're reaping what you sowed. But, you know, things don't get easy. Things don't get easy. Things are still very difficult. Pero, yun na nga as long as you're moving towards, kasi some people might think, oy, okay na, or andyan ka na, nakuha mo na kung ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve. When your family, for example, when you're able to bring them here, the struggles don't end. Things will continue to be difficult.
People would always think that you move to a different country, it's done.
Kala mo yun yung
They would
end of
think
the
na
story, no?
you hit the jackpot. Na sa probinsya nga po namin, akala nila pag nakapag-abroad, namumulot na lang ng pera. Or walang work, may pera, ganon. So we always tell people, especially those asking about life in Canada, we always say, sometimes life in the Philippines is easier.
Actually, in some ways,
Kasi
no? It's really about the fulfillment that you get.
Yes.
No, the kind of
like here, you get free healthcare. You feel secure. The jobs are there. It's plenty. But then you miss out on hanging out with your friends because here the concept of time it's very important to people. You cannot even visit somebody without telling them. Unlike sa atin, nagwawalis ka lang sa labas, bigla may dumating, oy, pasok. Dito kasi minsan parang, oh, hold on, I have somewhere I need to be. I can't let you in today. So
I was surprised. One Filipino told me that she's been working in that firm for 22 years and none of her office, she has never been in the house
a
of
birthday
any
party.
in the
Oh,
house
yes.
of any of the office mates. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Yes.
You know, in the Philippine setting, that's just mind-boggling.
I was in my few years of professional career working here. So nasa office, ganyan.
Teka, bigyan ko lang sila ng konting context. That's why MicMic is also talking about, I tell people that here in Canada, it's because he's an immigration consultant.
Yes.
You know, he has this company in his shirt called
Oh,
Suncor.
yes.
Where, yun na nga, your focus is international students, no?
We are
Nagdadala kayo
we
dito
are popular
sa
to
Canada.
the international student community, but as somebody, I am called an RCIC, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So that's my legal title. We perform different immigration services. So there's the student to PR pathway for international students, but then there's also provincial nominations, working, or spousal sponsorship, or what I did with my parents, parent and grandparent sponsorship, or what's popular recently, tourist visas. So all of these things we do. And what we are proud of with what we did with Suncor is, nung panahon ko po kasi, we were at a loss when we were doing DIY. And I'm somebody that, if I could do it, I'll do it. I won't pay anyone to do it. And syempre,
ikaw gagawa lahat.
tsaka nung panahon na yun, ayun, budget din yung concern. It's always the budget at the very start. So parang sabi ko, I'd rather save the money, I'll do it. And it turns out there's actually no existing service.
Or ganon dati.
There was, but then when I was doing DIY...
Nag-international student ka ba?
Yes po. So
yung pagpasok mo dito, yun ang entry.
Yeah, I was a tourist first, and then when we liked it, I was kind of studying. Early on, I was already studying yung parang Canadian immigration system. So when I became an RCIC, it was a very smooth transition for me kasi
napag-aralan mo na.
Napag-aralan ko na, napagdaanan ko na siya. I lived the life, and I did it to my own applications. I walk the talk. I talk the talk, walk the walk, parang ganun. So, and people were able to identify with that na, yung taong yun, nagawa niya.
Pero kaya kan ba nag-international student you thought that was the best pathway for you to become a PR in Canada?
So for me, it was, there were two reasons why I studied. First was, we reached the point of our business in the Philippines that we need to modernize. So we do printing, we print on paper, and then digital media happened. So parang, I was very quick to catch on. So I studied economics. It was very quick for me to catch on trends, market trends, industry trends. Sabi ko, digital media.
Obsolete na tayo.
Yeah. So yun sabi ko, digital media. Anong impact nito sa negosyo ko? Yung mga posters, for example, nawawala kasi nagiging webpage, Facebook advertisement. So sabi ko, and this was the time na okay na kami. And I said, I don't want to go back to not being okay. So sabi ko, I need to do something. And
so parang yung option mo nun, kahit bumalik ka ng Pilipinas, you would have used that.
I am using it. Yung inaral ko, I was able to apply it to our business. So
meron pa?
Oh yeah, we still have I was able to digitalize half of the process. So we cater to those who need digital services.
This is in the Philippines, ha?
Yes,
Nandun pa. Who's running it now?
My parents.
Great.
So kumbaga, I built on my dad as an artist. So he designed stuff for big companies.
You did amazing. Kinikilabutan ako what you did for your family. Baka ako naman yung maiyak. Maiyak ako sa storya mo. Ano ba yan? Okay.
Ang drama ba? Ganun talaga if you're put in that situation.
Tinan mo, nag-iiyak na kami.
So yun, so I built on that kasi sabi ko, ito yung skill niya and people are willing to pay for him to design stuff. But we don't have the money to actually produce the things. So I worked abroad for a while, and then lahat ng ipon ko, naiyak na naman ako. Lahat ng ipon ko, binuhos ko doon.
Hindi mo naman sinabi na kailangan natin tissue. Wala tayong tissue sa set. Okay.
Oo nga, no. Pero yeah, that's it all revolved on my decisions were on family. Tapos ano siya, we built it that way. Tapos naging okay na siya. So syempre, my dad had purpose. He was proud with what he did. And I was proud with myself kasi proud siya.
Nako, ano na ba to? Sorry, kailangan yata talaga namin ng tissue.
Sorry,
okay.
Hindi po to scripted, pero ganun talaga. But yun, so I was able to do it. And then I guess on my first semester, sabi ko sa wife ko, you know what, there's opportunity here. This might be it. Because we tried moving abroad many times nung bagong kasal kami ni Mrs. And we were not successful. So, student visa sa US na deny ako when I was still a bachelor.
Okay.
And then I ended up studying in China because I really wanted to study abroad. It's one of my dreams. So I studied in China first. Uwi, aral sa Ateneo. Had the business.
Anong pinag-aralan mo sa China?
Mandarin. So, ayaw kasi ako turuan ni Mrs. So, nag-aral. Pasok ako school. And of course, it was my dream to study abroad talaga. So, I did that one. And then, lahat ng ipon ko doon, binuhos ko talaga doon sa... So, nagka-business kami. It became good. So, before people was just consigning my dad to design stuff. We were designing... He was designing for pharmaceutical companies. Abbott, Sanofi, GSK. Mga malalaking multinational.
What does he do? Like laying out, graphics design, logos?
Before Photoshop was invented, it was manual art for people.
Yes,
so he was
that's beautiful.
really good doing it manually. And
nasasad nga ako, parang lost art na yan eh.
Yes.
Talagang
so I was pushing my dad to start painting
hand
again.
art,
Because
okay.
he was... naalala ko before, nanalo siya ng mga painting contest when he was young, and one of the first ladies, may picture siya no na siya yung naging judge. So yun.
Yeah, remember what MicMic was saying earlier?
Yeah.
Yung kakaupo lang natin, yung sabi mo, he had to turn down.
Yung singing.
Singing, diba?
So may singing na siya, magaling din siya magpiano, and then...
wow! You know, it's
yung
never
art.
too late. How old is your dad now?
My dad's turning 70 this year.
Diba? That's
Yeah.
awesome. He can just like start out
Yun nga sabi
at
ko,
any point in his
I was
life.
telling him na maybe it's time to retire. Pursue your dreams na you let go before. Singing, I don't know. But the painting part, I'm sure he can
Right.
still do it. And it's good
Right.
therapy na rin for elders
Yeah.
na may
Yung
gagawa.
dexterity nila,
Yeah.
diba?
And it's good for him. And then he was really good with what he did with the painting and all. And then ang problema nun, he was really good at designing it. People can't produce what he designs. So maganda yung render pagdating sa finished product. The companies would say, "Hey, how come you can't make it how Mr. Corrales did it?" So I had an idea na, what if we print what you do? So that's when we had the printing press na. And then yun, sugal lang siya kasi sabi ko, galing na tayo sa wala. What else can we lose?
So lahat ng mga na-achieve mo, the roots were really from your family, no? What
I
pushed
guess,
you was
yeah.
your dad's art into business. What pushed you into education and studying hard, and now your
Yeah.
business is towards
And now we're
education.
helping students, yes.
Yeah, was also your family's values on education.
Yeah.
So you
So
had
it was
your bala, the one that really your foundation was your family's values.
yeah, I guess
Were your family's
despite
values.
yung hirap na pinagdaanan pagkabata, nung kabataan pala, I still look back to it na kasi the fear of reverting to that life is what pushes me to always move forward. Na ayoko na maging ganito ulit. And now that I have kids, I always say, I always tell people, I'm doing this for my kids, not for me. Because I'm already happy where I am. And I don't want to experience my kids. Yung kids ko, my experience, ano yung pinagdaanan ko. Kasi parang, siguro as a parent, it was also hard for them nakikitang hirap kami mga bata. So yun yung drive ko talaga na to push forward.
Pero ano naman ngayon yung mga importanteng matutunan ng mga anak mo from you?
Oh.
What are your parenting values now?
It's funny, when I was young, my parents would always tell me, especially my mom kasi taga-probinsya, maglalakad kami this far, crossing the river, just to go to school. Yung mga ganun. And then my lola would say, tatawid ako bundok just to wash the clothes. Para mga ganun. So when I had my own versions to my kids na, bibili lang ako ng bagong damit. At least sa akin, bibili ng damit, di ba? Once a year.
Naririnig
Tapos
ko na,
yung,
oo.
tapos yung sapatos ko, kailangan 2 sizes bigger kasi kakalakihan ko yun. It has to last the entire year. My eldest son, he's 9. Pero hindi na ma-comprehend na, ba't di ka na lang bumili ulit?
Oo,
Or-
oo.
Or sasabihin ko sa kanya, I save up my money just to buy gifts for my parents. Sabi na, then why don't you just get money? Parang sabi ko, hindi niya mag-grasp yung it was hard
Oo,
before.
oo.
And may nakita ko dati sa posting sa social media na parang tough times create great men. Great times create weak men. So parang sabi ko, he's having a great time. Is he going to be weak? So yun yung
Yes.
naging fear ko naman.
Oo,
So
oo.
as a parent, parang medyo preventive ako. I'm a bit hard on my kids na parang sinasabi ko, if I take this all the way, everything away, your toys, your comfort, you think you'd survive. Tapos lagi nang iisipin, I think I will not. So sabi ko, then use that motivation to keep your lifestyle up because once you become an adult, all of this could disappear. So make sure you can maintain everything on your own. Ay, alam naman nila, syempre.
That's a very good, I mean, as a parent,
Yeah.
ganun din kasi iniisip ko and naiisip rin ng mga parents yan na kung ano yung hindi ginawa sa atin. Gusto natin maiwasan ng mga, para sa mga
Yeah.
anak natin yung paghihirap. But are you protecting them too much? That's an
Kasi
eternal question in
That too.
parenting, di ba?
siguro sa akin, since I grew up in a hard life, I try to impart na life is always not easy. Kasi they're having it easy now na they go to school.
So your
they have
style
food.
is
Siguro I'm the hard dad.
letting them know on a cerebral level.
Oh, yes.
Na, I mean, you don't have to make them experience not having all these
Yes.
things.
But I always have
But-
that conversation na, what are you gonna do if this
Yes,
happens to you?
because with children, of course, we'll never know if this works or not. I mean,
Yeah, of
later
course,
on
of course.
when they grow up and ano. But there's this thing with children and their imagination and how
Yeah.
they, how reality becomes in their minds. It might be enough. It might be enough that just
Yeah,
to let them know
yeah.
that you can lose this tomorrow. I mean,
I was always telling them, like, usually this talk happens during long drives because we like doing long trips across Canada, crossing the US, mga ganon. So I always, parang the-drive kami, may nakita akong barn or mga shanty on the highway. Lagi ako titigil sa sabihin ko, oh, that's where grandma used to live, something like that. I grew up somewhere similar. Parang hindi nila makomprehend na
hindi mag-grasp. Oo.
kasama ng mga hayop. Sabi ko, oo, I grew up with the chickens under the floor. Parang hindi nila magets talaga na may ganun palang life. Tapos sabi ko, it's funny, sabi ko nga, wala nga hot water sa Philippines, magpapakulo ka or you just take it raw from the faucet. Ligo
Well, of course,
ka.
it also doesn't get as cold as
Yeah.
how it is here, so it's not going to be that difficult.
So parang
But yeah.
naano sila na-amazed naman. I was very happy na they got interested what was life in the Philippines
Yes,
was.
oo.
And this was the time I was prompting them na uuwi tayo ng Pilipinas for the first time because Suncor would do an event in the Philippines. So I guess maaga kong minumulat sa reality yung mga bata.
Mhm.
Might be too early sometimes because when my firstborn was 3, yung kalaro niya, his playmate was talking about the Easter Bunny, and they just straight out said, "It's not real. It's just a business that they're selling the candies." Kasi that's what
Yun ang sabi mo
what
sa
I
kanila.
tell them. So parang lumapit yung bata sa mom. Mom, he said, sabi ko, oh no. Sabi ko sa anak ko, let's go. Let's go kasi
I hope you didn't burst their bubble on Santa Claus.
well, that too. I guess my wife is also aligned with
So hindi na sila naniniwala kay Santa?
hindi kasi ewan ko ba. Pareho kami ni Mrs. ng si wife kasi Filipino-Chinese. So their culture is also very hard on hindi naman hard on family but very intact with culture. They're very responsible with the things they do. I really admire their culture. So I guess hard na nga ako yung palaki ko, si Mrs. very firm din. So yung mga bata, mas mature sila for their age. That's what I noticed when they play. My kids prefer to interact with adults or young adults than with kids their age. Like, yes, they play with the kids.
Pero alam mo, before I forget, I do have this other realization, and sometimes this particular parenting style of mine clashes with others. But there's one thing I don't subscribe to, at least personally. Meron kasi ako mga kilalang parents, my friends and people I know, na sila mismo ginagawa na nilang uncomfortable or yung life ng child nila. Like for example, ibubully ko na sila. Somehow, not bully like in a big way, but I'm gonna tease them like crazy till they cry because kesa naman sa school.
Yeah.
Ganon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you subscribe. I don't subscribe to that.
Sa akin, well, boys kasi yung mga anak ko. Normal yung asaran. But as a parent, bullying...
Hindi parang sasadyain mo.
Hindi.
Para
hindi.
Kasi for me, meron kasing isang school of thought in homeschooling.
Oh,
sinasabi
homeschooling.
nga nila
Okay.
baka daw masyadong nagiging...
Ideal.
Nagiging sheltered yung bata pag hino-homeschool. Kasi syempre, the mom or the dad, whoever is homeschooling, will be patronizing, will be protecting, ganyan. And hindi nakaka-adapt to other kids in socializing. But the studies came out na those who were homeschooled were actually emotionally strong when they entered college. Kasi marami, grade school, high school, and then college, they're sent off to the real world. They were actually, their EQs were high, they were emotionally strong. It's when you put them out there and other people bully them because you invest in the foundation of their emotional beings. Of course, every child is different. Diba? May kanya-kanya ako. I don't believe one parenting style. If you have 3 kids, iba-iba yan. You have 3 kids. Well,
my second one, he's 3. Iba siya dun sa first. Yung first was very very pleasant pag sinabi mong no or not now, later. Sunod siya talaga. Yung isa, strong-willed kasi siya. He's willing to test the boundaries first. So, when it comes to bullying, normal asaran, yes. Nag-aasaran kami. But not to the point na parang he will not like you anymore. Kasi parang isipin niya, you're supposed to be protecting me but you're the one causing the stress or something. Pero, yung gitna, lagi naming inaasar nung panganay minsan. Kasi nga siya yung matigas ulo so parang inaasar namin. So kunyari, sabihin namin, no running on the hallway. Tapos nadapa siya. So tatawanan namin siya para next time alam niya na pag nadapa ako, aasarin na naman ito mga to. So hindi na. But I guess ngayon, it's also good na I was more ready as a parent. As a person with a complete career I can provide. So I could focus on, kasi nakita ko sa father ko, mahirap siya maging tatay kung naghahabol ng bills. At least now sa kanila, yung focus ko talaga sa kanila na ito, yung you get time to explain na let's say napagalitan or mababa grades, you get to explain na alam mo ba na pag mababa grades mo, there might be repercussions na you might not be able to go to college, mga ganon. So,
how do you balance that out now? Because now you are helping other Filipinos who want to come to Canada.
Oh, yes.
Diba? So, and you also have the sincerity to help them kasi galing ka doon. You have the basis and the actual intention to help people and not just for business, not just to make money, but also you do want to make money because you don't want to go back to the kind of hard life that you had before. There's no reason to go back with all the things that you have, the education under your belt and all your experiences. Is there a play on the values na parang anong guiding principle nyo ngayon sa...
So sa amin kasi lumaki akong walang pakialam sa sinasabi ng iba. Just because,
That's a blessing, no?
actually,
It's
yes.
a blessing.
Because I
We're
noticed
the same way on that.
people succumb to pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Ako sa akin, sabi kasi ng mama ko, you cannot put a good man down.
Mm.
So if you're a good man, you just move forward. You're just being uplifted, parang ganun. So I always when I try to strike that balance now with doing the business, helping other people, wala kasi akong pakialam kung sasabihin ng mga competitors, that's not gonna work. Or sisiraan kami. My main focus is, sirain nyo kami, but at least let me put the right information out there. Because not everybody could afford our services, our immigration services. So as part of our advocacy, we always share the right information. We provide the source, we do live Q&As. So yung matulungan yung mga tao, that's the main goal. Because I had a great career when I was still working in Canada. I worked for the Ontario Public Service. And so it was great. I was, I guess, one of the Filipinos who hit a certain position through hard work and, of course, sheer study and all. So some of the works I left behind is used by the public. I studied IT, and the applications I created, the databases I created, it's still being used until now. Sometimes I still get calls from the government asking me how to fix stuff. So I'm still in touch with them. So I was telling, nakaipon ako dun eh. I saved money. So when we created the company, it wasn't motivated towards earning money. It was motivated towards helping people talaga. And when I was still in the Philippines, nauso kasi nun yung mga car clubs. There was a time na ang daming nagsulputang grupo ng mga kotse. So I formed one of the very first ones also for a particular car and model. And then I got interviews from Top Gear or sa mga other magazines, newspaper. Kasi yung club namin, it started with cars and then we represented ourselves towards automotive industry. Kasi kunyari may problema yung kotse, we're a big enough group to actually be noticed. And then nung lumalaki yung group namin, there was a good suggestion by other members na maybe let's do something for the public. So we started coordinating with this WD, mga outreach programs, medical mission. So naipon yung mga iba-ibang talent. May mga doktor, may mga dentist, others were working sa pharma, so nakakalikom ng mga gamot. So yung nabibigyan ng... So that's what we were doing, and then
So yung car club nyo, naging
parang naging charity,
club.
na rin siya.
Tama-tama, you had the transportation to bring it
yeah,
down.
and exactly. Tapos road trip na rin, di ba? Let's go to Baguio, feed the people. Ganun, punta kami.
That's
So
brilliant.
masaya siya. And then many other Filipinos follow suit. Nagkaroon na yung mga iba-ibang car clubs. They got organized to that certain level that we did. Paglipat ko ng Canada, of course, I left all of those behind. I was just in touch online, managing it, and then eventually delegating everything. Parang hinahanap ko siya nung nandito na ako sa Canada. Sabi ko, ano bang
public service?
What can I do? Parang ganun. I guess it's the altruistic nature of people sometimes. So sabi
Saka
ko,
yung nakarating ka na dun sa level na may space ka na to give
yes,
back.
Yes. That pa. Sabi ko, ano kaya? What can I do? And then, like I mentioned earlier, the service did not exist during my time. So parang sabi namin ni Kuya Nikki, ito kaya gawin natin. And it wasn't, unlike other business ideas na you would hear people, laking perang kikitain natin. Kami, dami nating matutulungan. Parang ganon. And that's why the service for the school's acceptance was free. So we first time, may kumpanya free.
Service for school acceptance fee.
Because the way with international students in Canada work, you have to be accepted by a school first before you actually apply for a visa. Schools would charge you application fees, English tests, etc., etc. And agencies in the Philippines would charge you for that service for you to be accepted by the school. Parang double dip si agent. So naisip namin, gawin natin libre. Tapos,
Doon na
nakatulong.
kayo nagkaroon ng mga kaaway.
Oo. Actually, nung umuwi po kami sa Philippines last year,
Kasi nagpapabayad sila doon
nagme-message pa ako sa mga friends ko, "Uy, baka ma-assassinate ako, but I just want to let you know, nandito ako sa mga lugar na to. Pag hindi ako nag-text back, sabayin yung mama ko, wala ako." So, seriously, napraning ako ng konti. Kasi sabi
these
ko,
are true,
because it's big money. It's a big industry.
Ang laki po talagang pera sa pagpapadala ng mga estudyante. Even the Canadian government makes a lot of money from not just international students, but all
last time I checked,
immigrants.
it's for international students, it supports around 300,000 jobs for Canada. And for a country with 38 million population.
300,000? To think part-time lang pwede ang estudyante.
I mean, it creates
after
that job.
After they...
So yung mga Canadians, may nabuong trabaho for Canadians.
Okay.
Administration, teachers, IT.
To process international students.
Yes.
300,000 jobs.
Kunyari, mga schools. Ang school kailangan ng admin staff, intake, registration. So lahat yun, nabuo yung close to 300,000 na jobs na yun just because of international students coming to Canada.
Okay.
And
wala pa doon yung mga fees.
Wala pa yung
how much do they make? You know this
Yeah, they make a lot. I mean, I can't disclose how much, but it's the international student business, so to speak, for Canada. It's in the billions talaga. It's a significant
Canadian
amount
dollars.
of the GDP. So it's a big one.
We're just talking about international students.
Yes.
Okay.
For different countries. All countries na po, not just for Philippines, but for India, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Russia. All of those students would contribute to that big chunk of money that Canada uses to support itself. So maraming nagalit sa amin nung sinabi naming libre yung service. And everyone was like, why is it free? Is this too good to be true? So doon po siya na, it created a buzz. And then, people slowly responded. At first, there was apprehension na, baka scam yan. Bakit libre? Sometimes, if it's too good to be true, people would think there's a catch. And we were very open na, libre siya, kasi pabayadan kami ng school.
That's what a lot of people don't know. I only also found out. I was also an international student coming into Canada.
Yeah.
And there were so many things I don't know about. Kagaya baka may nanonood sa atin na gusto maging international student or yung mga kamag-anak nila. So many things you don't know about. And I was so glad that my agent also told me. I went through like 3 or 4 different agents kasi nararamdaman ko rin na may hanky-panky. And they had the guts to do that even if they knew I was in the media in the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Merong iba talagang alam nila na parang gano'n na lang yung greed, nakakabulag ng greed. We know that. So, so I'm very thankful to that agent who told me na, sabi niya, Miss Cherie, hindi ka magbabayad na lang, wag ka na lang magbayad per student. Kasi sabi ko, paano ka naman kikita niyan? Sabi niya, hindi, binabayaran po kami ng eskwela pag natanggap na yung estudyante. So, meron din naman kami nakukuha doon. So, ang ginagawa ng agent nyo, kung kumukuha pa rin sila, is doble. Meron na silang kinuha sa inyo, meron pa silang kinuha sa eskwela. Which is okay if they want to. I mean, but be upfront about it.
Yeah, I mean, be honest with...
Pwede namang hindi mo na rin kuhanan, lalo na yung mga ibang struggling talaga, hindi ba?
Yeah. Kasi siguro sa akin, I see myself in people dreaming of a better life.
Yes.
Kasabi ko, sige. Nung pinag-usapan namin ni Kuya Nikki from Suncor, libre siya. As in, I guess it shocked everybody. And then we didn't stop there. Libre na siya. Pag natating mo ng Canada, may cashback ka pa. So that's what we did.
Saan naman galing yung cashback?
So, again, it wasn't kasi the business was built on advocacy.
Yeah.
It wasn't motivated sa money. So we always say, and people are asking, libre na, ba't na pa kami bibigyan ng pera? And we were very candid about it. Kasi yung bayad sa amin, yung portion nun, bibigyan namin sa inyo. Para pagdating nyo,
may pang-start man lang.
May pambili man lang kayo ng groceries sa first week.
That is awesome.
And and I guess the industry, especially in the Philippines, they didn't like what we did. Kasi
Appreciate
parang
that. I can imagine.
first, if I were a businessman in the Philippines and I heard what we did or what we were proposing, syempre iisipin ko, because I've been in the business, in doing business and many things, siguro for what, 20 years or more? Una kong iisipin, una kong reaction. Number one, I'm losing sales if I have to compete with this. And now you're telling me I also have to pay the students. So parang it's killing, it's gonna kill my business, parang gano'n. So kaya sabi ko noon, baka mapa-assassinate tayo. Kasi malaki pong pera talaga yung not just for international studies, even for other immigration services. So when we did it, people at first were laughing na it's gonna fail because you're throwing away money. And we're like, it's not about the money. I have a great job. This is me helping people. So we started. First year was okay. And then when news caught on, syempre dumating na yung mga estudyanteng una, nakuha talaga namin yung pera, ganyan. So syempre their peers who also want to come, parang, uy, nakuha na talaga yung pera. Doon na tayo. Uy, napapunta talaga silang Canada. Doon na tayo. And then I guess that's how parang
Suncor became big.
Suncor
you're big.
became a very significant, I guess, force.
Yeah.
that we started with one school and then other schools were ignoring us kasi nga, sino ba itong mga to? Parang, do you have a company? No, we just formed one now. Parang siguro sabi nila, just come back after. And then what happened after was, syempre sa motivation and sa dami rin ng taong dumating, nag-top yung first school namin, beating all other schools when it comes to the Filipino international student enrollee. So that created a big buzz na, sino ba si Suncor? And then doon na po nag-start yung...
That's when the other schools
approach us.
Approaching you na.
Baliktad na. Dati, scene zone lang kami. Ngayon, sila na yung lumalapit. Sabi ko,
ngayon sila na nandiligaw.
Baliktad na. And then, of course, we're also very selective who we partner with kasi syempre, it has to align with our mission vision na ano ba mapapala ng estudyante. Because at the end of the day, it's always for the people na ano mapapala ng international students sa school mo. Do you align with the immigration rules and regulations? Mapapahamak ba? Hindi. Stable ba yung school and all? So yung mga ganun.
So kayo na ngayon ang choosy.
Yes. Ibang school, susubukan bilhin kami. Susulang kami ng malaking pera just to promote them. Because we know, they know that we could bring the people to that, steer the people to go there. But we always say, we go where the student wants to go. Ang common fault sa Philippines kasi, an agent would have limited partners and they would push you sa school nila. So there, you'd see stories where...
Yeah, kasi some agents are only handling...
A very few.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5
unlike
schools.
us where basically you just point on Canada's map where you want to study and we're like, okay, let's go there.
Okay, so unfortunately, MicMic, all good things have to come to an end.
I know.
But they can go to your website. They can
Oh
go
yes,
to your...
we have our Suncor website. It's sun-cor.com. So if you want to, or you could also follow us on social media. May TikTok na po ako, kahit may edad na ako, nag-TikTok pa rin due to popular demand.
There's a lot of information. Marami rin palang useful things naman kasi sa TikTok.
Oh,
Marami ring information
people
sa TikTok.
go in for entertainment, but I guess for us to just put the word out there, the right information, nag-TikTok kami. Hindi ako nasayaw, but but I just put the news, immigration. So yun, we did TikTok. Me and my partner, we have separate accounts, and then para lang they could just follow everything.
And you still do your parang mga sessions,
yes,
your video.
we do
informational
live immigration Q&A. So this is for people na walang pera, hindi afford mag-hire ng consultant to answer the questions. And sometimes they just have one or two clarifications. So we always dispel the myth na, pag sinabi ko to, madali. So people would always ask, madali ba talaga? How hard is it? And so we always do like yung tinatawag na real talk. This is how
This
it
is
really
once a week? Once
it
a
started.
month?
It started once a week. We did Fridays. Dati tawag evening with the kuyas. We do it Friday night here, so it's a Saturday morning in the Philippines. Now it became morning with the kuyas, Tuesday morning, and then Friday mornings in
Also
Canada.
twice a week
Para
na
gabi
siya.
sa atin. And then there's those random lives that we individually do when we have free time. So kunyari, if I have an appointment, it canceled, walang magawa, I just do the live just to capture other people's different time zones. It's like a family building community. Yung dating hiwalay na mag-asawa, mag-uusap kasi papaaralin yung anak. Dating magkagalit
Ang daming
na kapatid,
iba-ibang dynamics,
magbabate. It's very rewarding to see broken things get fixed, or at least disconnect becomes reconnected again,
Connected
just
again.
because of both parties having a goal na for the good or future of somebody.
Thank you so much, MicMic, for
Thank you so
sharing
much
with
po.
us all these aspects of your life and that very inspiring story.
Oh, thank you so much, and I
And-
hope we continue to inspire more people.
Yeah, so we'll be posting. You've been seeing the social media pages of Suncores. What I like about them is they give information kasi for free.
For
And the
free.
information is really what's important, no? Kasi ang daming misleading information out there when you want to become international students here in Canada. So
Yep.
that wraps up another episode of the CHERIE MERCADO podcast. I hope hindi lang kayo may natutunan. You might have grabbed your tissues also there
Oh my
in
God.
the middle of the conversation. But yeah, thank you for joining us here. And we'll see you again on our next episode. This is CHERIE MERCADO. Bye.